let us proceed with our discussions in terms of the installations procedures of the strain gauge. So far, we have covered the surface treatment. Before you install the strain gauge, you will need to make sure the surface of the test specimen is flat and free from impurities that can affect the bond between the strain gauge and the test specimen. And then it will be the installations of the strain gauge. You may use the adhesive to bond the strain gauge to the test specimen. After that, wait for the adhesive to harden. Then you will perform the strain gauge installation check. This checking is considered intermediate check, as you would like to check the conditions of installations, whether the strain gauge is properly installed in the right position under good conditions, and so on so far. We discussed about this in our previous videos. In general, there will be visual inspections of the strain gauge, as well as checking for the resistance of the strain gauge installations. The visual inspections is checking the right positions of the installed strain gauge, proper applications of adhesive, free from impurities or air bubbles. As for the resistance check, you are checking the resistance given by the strain gauge itself, whether it is equals to the resistance as specified by the strain gauge. And also you are checking the insulated conditions of the strain gauge to ensure that the currents only flow within the strain gauge without flowing into the test specimen. Let's say now you have done the checking. Everything is under good conditions. You may proceed to the next step. This is where you need to connect the lead wire. By using the lead wire, you may connect the strain gauge to the data logger for data acquisition. This is the flow of installing the lead wire to the strain gauge. We have two main types of the strain gauge. One is the ordinary strain gauge, which comes in the form of strain gauge without any pre-attached lead wire. For this ordinary strain gauge, you will have to connect the lead wire manually using soldering method. This will be the process that you need to go through for the installations of the ordinary strain gauge. We have another type of strain gauge, which is known as the integral lead wire strain gauge. This kind of strain gauge has the lead wire pre-attached to the strain gauge as the final product supplied by the manufacturer. In this case, you don't have to reconnect the lead wire to the strain gauge. You may connect the lead wire directly to the data logger for data acquisition. So, if you are using the integral lead wire strain gauge, the initial part of the procedures may be bypassed. Once you're done installing the strain gauge, you may go straight to the step for the lead wire securing and proceed from there. Now let us look at the full process of installing the lead wire. Let's say now your gauge is properly bound to the test specimen and you have done the checking. The conditions of the gauge is okay and it is properly attached to the test specimen. Your next step now is to connect the strain gauge with the lead wire. You will need a connecting terminal for the connection. Install the connecting terminal and then solder the gauge lead here with one end of the connecting terminal. You will need to do the soldering process carefully. Make sure you cause no damage to the strain gauge as well as the connecting terminal. Also, keep your soldering materials within the connecting terminal without flowing into the other connecting terminal. The two terminals here will need to be separated. Next, you will need to join the lead wire. Prepare the lead wire and join the lead wire with the connecting terminal using soldering method. Once this is done, you will need to secure the lead wire from any movement so that the lead wire will remain attached to the connecting terminal to complete the circuit. Next, it will be numbering the strain gauge. Normally, when strain gauge is being used, you will need to identify which is which so that you are able to trace the strain gauge in terms of the locations as well as in terms of the readings as given in the data logger, so that you don't have the data being mixed up with the other measurement instruments. And then you perform the intermediate check again, particularly of the good conditions of the connecting of the strain gauge with the lead wire. Now, if you are using the integral lead wire strain gauge, since the lead wire has already been pre-attached to the strain gauge, you don't have to install this and you don't have to do any soldering. Once you have installed the strain gauge, you will need to secure the lead wire, ensure no undesired stress induced onto the joint between the strain gauge and the lead wire that may ultimately damage the strain gauge. Then you will proceed with numbering the strain gauges as well as the intermediate check in terms of the connections.